More on this. I am switching to a little bit smaller brush. I'm just going to start with the ultramarine blue. And the fourth and fifth column, I want this pretty dark, concentrated. Still trying to gauge if I go straight, you know, really almost straight paint, what that will look like, how dark that will be. Yep. Sure. Seems good. Next I'm gonna, since I have this palette with these particular colors, I think I'll try to make this one a little bit darker, so it seems like it not such a big jump values wise, light dark wise, between this one and this one. Yeah. I think that's going to dry just fine, as far as being drying a little bit lighter than that. Kind of want this, both these edges to be a little more crisp, defined. This brush is sort of a mop round, so it's a little bit harder to get an exact line, but I like these because they're soft. And they hold a lot of paint and water, which is good. Let me try the cobalt teal. And this one, really want to pretty much just have it as thick as I can and still kind of flow. Nice. Okay. I'll switch back to this quote-unquote palette. Let's see. I think there I still can get enough. I want to make this one darker. Still enough concentrated of just the blue. This plate is getting fairly confusing on which color is where. I'm not so worried about it, but I would suggest not having. There's a bunch of greens and blues and pretty things going on, but it makes it kind of unclear which color I'm grabbing. So that's pretty nice and dark. Truth be told, I could probably even go a little bit darker, but I'm just going to try to gauge the darkness for this one. I just brought in a touch of water. I wanted to make it a little less concentrated. One of the things about this technique is I feel like it's a sort of a lot more freeing. I know that I can adjust things a decent amount, so I'm not so worried that every stroke has to be perfect. Every color choice has to be perfect, because it's watercolor and you only get one chance, and it's all stressful and stuff. I may be projecting there. Okay, let's see. The green up here. I think we probably just did these three last time. Make sure I'm in frame again. I can't tell, but I think so. So I'm going to do the fourth and fifth one here. And I'm going to want it pretty concentrated. Different brands sort of have sort of different degrees of how wet and creamy they are, or thick. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer to mix out as much concentrated color of one brand than another. And if you've let them dry, which is very common, and in your palette, and then just waking them up with some water is really all it takes. Cool. Okay. If I could make that ever so slightly darker while I'm here. This is probably off camera, but I'm just grabbing a little bit of a pretty watery cobalt teal You just want it to be a little bit more in between that value and that value. Might be a touch too dark. Bring in some water. Now I'm making a thirsty brush and I'm trying to pick up some. I think maybe I'll just kind of introduce a touch more water. I was sort of making it streak. Trying to lift some color. And that can be sort of a tricky thing because it's easy to make it sort of look overworked. But I think that's working just fine. I think I'll pause there. Actually, no, I'm not. I was looking for this brush. A small little detail brush. See if I could clean this up a little bit. This one too. Oops, that's doing some overlapping and glazing and darkening, which is not exactly what I want, but that's okay too. And me without a paper towel. Aha! Maybe I'll try to just blot a little bit of that up. Being careful not to touch any other shape that's still wet. And I'm sort of making a mess, huh? I'm ruining it. It's the whole thing is ruined. Sorry. No, it'll be a good opportunity to show you how I would come back and fix that shape up and that edge too. This one I'm going to make darker. We'll see how it dries. Okay.